Hey guys, what's up? Pat here from Mountain Sledder. I'm going to show you one way to tow a sled out of the backcountry. It's probably the easiest way, especially if you don't have any big hills to climb. If you've got a fairly smooth path out, it's a kind of a no-brainer to use this method. There are a couple other methods that you can use to tow out a sled. You've probably heard of a number of them. One way is to turn the sled backwards and put the track up on the tunnel of another sled to tow it out. That can work up a big hill. Another way is to find a sliding surface. If the track is seized for some reason, the jack shaft breaks, something like that, you can put a sliding surface like a crazy carpet underneath the track and tow that way. This is the most straightforward tow, one sled to another, and you can do it with any number of things. You just need a sturdy rope or a piece of webbing. I've been carting this Mountain Lab gear tow strap around all year, and I'm gonna put it to use. So it's just basically some webbing that's stitched together with some loops and a couple of steel carabiners and a loop on the other end. It's got a braking strength of 1,000 kilograms, so should be good. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to our towing sled and we're going to girth hitch the loop of the strap around the bumper. In some cases, like with the Polaris Pro Arm K with a carbon fiber bumper, we might not want to do that, in which case I'll show you where to attach it on the running boards. So we just pass the loop through and then pull all the rest of the strapping through. Another option for an attachment point is at the end of the running board. Here, it's a strong point. If you decide to use this point instead of your bumper, that's fine. You just have to be a little bit more aware when the tow strap is running behind that it doesn't get caught up if there's any slack up in the track. So again, you just pass the loop around and then pull the rest of the strapping through to girth hitch around that strong point. Okay, so now we're just gonna loop the end of the strap around each of the spindles. We wanna go around the spindles because it's a stronger point to attach to. Some people do it to the ski loops, but it's not very strong and it will pull your skis in and make it harder to steer the sled. Whereas if you go around the spindles, you still have free steering. Whoever's being towed behind on the sled can freely steer around the corners and it's not just being dragged. So with the Mountain Lab gear strap here, all you do is just pass it around on the spindle and clip that steel carabiner through. And that's it, you're done on that one. Same thing on the other side. And we're just about ready to go. But before we do, we want to make sure that we remove the belt from the sled that's being towed. And that way the engine's not being forced around and it's going to remove a lot of resistance. It's going to allow the track to freely spin, which makes it a lot easier to tow. One other consideration is when you decide which sled is going to be towing the busted sled out, you want it to be somebody that has a snow flap on their sled, because if there's not a snow flap, that sled's working hard, it's going to be kicking up a lot of snow, and for the person that's steering the sled that's being towed, they're going to be getting a lot of that debris and roost right in the face. So if they've got a snow flap on there, that's a good thing. When you're towing out, you're going to want to work together as a team as much as possible. You don't really want to get a lot of slack in the line because then they'll be tugging and pulling, and you want to kind of keep that tight just to keep everything going smoothly. It can be difficult over bumps, so try and pick somebody that's a skillful rider that's helping you tow out. Also, when you're towing, try and keep the speed down. The sleds are going to maneuver a little bit differently than they would under normal circumstances, so you always want to be as safe as you can when you're towing out that sled. I think that's it.